Hello, and this is Bug-S Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing Darkhawk, Nova, and Vance Astro from the Titus Build-A-Figure. So before we take a look at the figures by themselves, let's take a look at the Build-A-Figure parts that they come with. So, first up, Darkhawk comes with the head of Titus, and I think Hasbro did a really good job on this, with the sculpt and the paint. I really like how they did a gray dry brushing over the white to give his fur more color to it. And I really like that. It's a pretty good job. And then Nova comes with the torso of Titus, and this is just a remold of the Space Venom torso. And it's all the same, just different color and some slight retooling to it, but it's pretty good. And then Vance Astro comes with the left leg of Titus, and it looks pretty good. I like the marbling on it, the gold colors. And it's the same as the Space Venom too. The only thing that's different are the arms and the head, so that's what they come with. So let's take a look at Darkhawk. Now, this figure is good. I really like it. He's one of the more obscure Marvel characters, and I think he really needed a toy. And Hasbro did a really good job with this. I like the collar. I like the head sculpt. They did really good. And I like the wings, too. Hasbro did a really good job sculpting them out. And they got a nice, chrome collar on them. And I also like, too, that his shoulder pads can raise up so that you can get him in a flight position. And you won't bend his shoulder pads getting him into that position. So if you want, you can leave him like that. And it won't bend the shoulder pads. So I really like that. Now, this figure doesn't really come with any accessories, so I would have liked maybe some open hands. That would have been cool. But a gripe I had of mine was that this came scratched, my body, his jewel in his chest. It has some paint off of it. And this, his belt just keeps shifting up and down, and it needs to stay just right here. But I don't really have too many gripes with this figure. And now for the articulation. So he has a ball hinge joint for his head that can move up pretty far and down just a little bit. Has side-to-side movement. He has a shoulder joint that moves out that far. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. And wrist articulation moves down just a little bit and not back as far because of these. These are soft, but they can't really move. His wrist really can't move back because of this. And it's the same with this arm, the same articulation, except his wrist can move back more. And he has a swivel waist, ball hinge hips, swivel at the thigh, double jointed knees, a swivel at his shin, and ankles that move up, down, and has great ankle pivot. So this figure is really good. It's a little basic, but still, it's a really good figure. And up next is Nova. I think Hasbro did a really good job with this. And this shares the body mold with the Ultimate Spider-Man. It just has some retooling for these discs on his chest, and he has some retooling of the arms and lower legs. But I still really like this figure. I like the gold color that Hasbro went with. It has a nice marbling effect to it, and I think they did a really good sculpt and a really good job on his helmet. And he does come with this accessory of Flish. Hasbro did really good with this. These lines are actually sculpted in, not painted in. And it was cast in kind of a pearl, kind of translucent plastic. I really like this, but this is my complaint. This character was actually killed off in the same issue that he was introduced, so, I would have preferred something like Nova's blasting off hands like that, or maybe some of the blast effects from Iron Man included with this instead of this, but it's still pretty good. Now, the articulation for this, he has a ball hinge head that moves back that far, down just a little bit, has side-to-side movement. He has ball jointed shoulders that move out very far. He has a swivel at his bicep, double jointed elbow. He has a wrist that can move back and forth. And he has an ab crunch that moves back really far and down even further. He has movement at the waist, ball hinge hips, swivel at the thigh, double jointed knees, and ankles that can move down up, and has ankle pivot. And it's the same for with his arms and legs. It's the same articulation on this side. So this is a really good figure, and it has the same articulation as the Spider-Man. So if you have it, you know what to expect from this one. It's still a good figure though. And up next is Vance Astro, and this figure is really good. It actually reuses the body mold from Venom. I think Hasbro did a really good job with this, but he is actually, the only accessory he comes with is his shield. And I do like the figure, but it would have been cool if they would have included his unmasked head. That would have been really cool. Or maybe the effect from the Secret War Captain America where he's throwing the shield. That would have been nice to include with this figure, but I like this shield. It's just a repack from the Cap Wolf figure from the Red Skull Build-A-Figure. And I like it because it has the clip that can clip to his wrist. And it can plug into the hole in his back. And it goes in very easily. And it can stay too. So I really like that. And I like the collar too. Because I've saw a lot of reviews that say that the white is like chipping when you move the joints and stuff like that. And luckily so far mine hasn't. And I really like that. So this figure is good, but it's a little, well, the only accessory it comes with is the shield, but that's my only complaint with this. Oh, and I have one more. His articulation for his arm, his shoulder can only go out that far, and this one can go out the way it's supposed to. So that is my complaint, because I don't want to force this, because then the paint probably would chip off and scrape, so that's my other complaint with this figure. But other than that, it's pretty good. It has a ball hinge joint for his head that can go back a little bit and down a little bit. He has movement at the shoulder, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and his wrist moves back and forth. He has an ab crunch that can move back this far, and it can crunch forward more. He has swivel at the waist, ball jointed hips, swivel thigh, double jointed knees, movement at the shin, ankle that can move down, up, and has ankle pivot. So this figure is good, but like I said, my complaint is this arm can only move out that far. So this is a really good toy, but I do have my complaints with it. So here's a comparison of all of them side by side again. And I think the height difference between all of these is good, because this is the teenager body mold, so he is a teen. And I think Darkhawk's supposed to be taller than Vance Astro, so Hasbro did really good with the height difference. So these toys are really good, and the Build-A-Figure pieces are nice, and these are just really good figures. But I do have my complaints with them. They really don't have much accessories, but that's the only thing I would change. So that's my review, and thank you for watching. So if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.